First, digital nomad freelancer. You love to travel. And since the pandemic, you have been traveling around the world. You do not need to live in any single country because your work does not hold you down in one single place. In the past few months, you have lived in places like Bali, Thailand, Goa, Sri Lanka, and at least a few hill stations. During the lockdowns, while your batchmates were confined to their homes, you preferred to work from a picturesque villa in the lap of nature. There is abundant greenery, the sound of birds chirping, water flowing through a stream in the distance, and a mountain range to gaze at. You take walks in nature and even play with your dog a couple of times in the day. You are not stressed. You find this setup very nurturing. It keeps you focused, calm, and productive. Your family is very supportive of all this, right? You find your work online. You have built an experience in foreign corporate paralegal work, US incorporation, compliance, and various kinds of regulatory filings, investment agreements, joint ventures, stock options, all these things you know and you are doing it. Okay. You started by finding work from Upwork and People Per Hour, but now most of your clients come through referrals and they find you directly because you already have a reputation now. You earn more than what most law firm lawyers in tier 1 law firms in your home country earn. And yet your day is mostly chilled out. You charge about $50–60 per hour on average, which finances a very comfortable lifestyle for you. You have also cultivated a good online presence so that your potential clients can find you easily. Many of your clients are US law firms and lawyers, legal departments of corporations, and fast-growing tech startups who want quality legal assistance for their business needs. You perform high-quality work at more affordable cost than lawyers in those countries. You also have several clients from your home country which have now expanded their presence globally. You are their go-to lawyer for domestic or US corporate work. You have begun to think of building a team now, a distributed team of a few lawyers who are working remotely and helping with your matters will help you to multiply your income in the months to come, though may add some administrative hassle. So you have been wondering if it would be a good idea after all, because you're living such a stress-free life. Should you add the stress of building a team and managing a team? Okay. Your living costs and expenses are much lower than a person living in a big city. Okay, whatever big city, Delhi, Mumbai, I don't know, Shanghai, Johannesburg, whatever is the big city near you. But your earnings and quality of life is much higher. You don't have to go live in a big city. You can live wherever you want. You are not afraid of becoming irrelevant professionally or being outmoded by technology. Rather, your early adoption of technology has enabled you to surge ahead of the competition. Now, second future that is possible for you, working in a foreign law firm. Okay, you are working with a law firm in New York, San Francisco, Washington, Boston, Miami, or Los Angeles, and are thriving in this environment. You moved here a couple of years back. It was your dream to work abroad, especially in the US, since you were a young lawyer. When you heard about the remote work opportunities in corporate law, you decided to try it out and started learning the skills early. And you always wanted to live in the US. You could make it UK or Canada, whichever country you want also. So it felt like working on remote opportunities can open doors for eventually moving to the US entirely. You started working for international clients remotely at first to build some credibility and gain experience. Over time, your skills, your client base, and your experience increased. Your clients, primarily US lawyers, law firms, and legal departments of companies, also gave you more responsibilities and work. You have been serving your international clients for a few years now. At one point, one of your clients offered you the opportunity to move to the US to work with them, as they found you to be a very important resource and felt that your talents can be put to better use if you are located on site to play a larger role in the organization. They really needed someone like you. You have skills and experience, and they can really trust you now based on their experience with you so far over the years working remotely. So you made for a very good hire. Your employer obtained a visa for you easily thanks to your work history and US relevant experience and skills. Other lawyers from your country do not enjoy such privilege. You are working as a consultant or a paralegal formally, and you will have to pass just the bar exam to be absorbed as an associate. Things seem pretty smooth. Your preparation is on track, and guess what? Your employer is paying all the expenses for the same. You are also frequently approached by foreign headhunters for roles at other law firms. For now, you want to stick to this opportunity for the next couple of years. You are looking forward to an exciting future and a lot of growth. Your confidence is high. Okay. Now, the third one, very important, the fast rising litigator, somebody who doesn't want to go abroad, but wants to do litigation. You wake up late on a Sunday morning. You have a very relaxed day ahead. You go for a nice brunch at a 5-star hotel with your family. You are taking them out for a celebration, having met your goals for the financial year ahead of time. Yesterday, you were at an alumni meetup with your batchmates celebrating 5 years of graduation. You went there to end the week right after finishing off a major assignment from a US law firm around the compliance of a large US corporation. You are feeling a wave of satisfaction. You have accomplished something meaningful in the past few years, and the future looks even more bright. You successfully crossed the litigator's valley of death in flying colors. This is the first 3 years of a litigator's journey when they don't have their own clients, insufficient earnings, when they haven't identified their niche, which is their specialty area, or developed their positioning. Most litigators quit litigation after this phase, stagnate in their careers, or look for corporate jobs. But you manage this phase comfortably. This happened because as a young lawyer, you were focused on identifying emerging areas of high demand but low supply and chose to specialize in remote international corporate work early. This allowed you to go independent in about 18 months from graduation because you are earning $700 to $1,500 per month from assignments for US lawyers, legal departments of US corporations, and fast-growing startups that took no more than 3-4 hours of your time. So rest of the time was free for you to build your practice in the court. The rest of the time you dedicated confidently to developing your litigation exposure and standing in the court. As a litigator, you earn almost as much as a tier 1 law firm associate, even though your senior didn't pay you much at all, owing to this supplementary income. The prestige of being the lawyer or a paralegal of several fast-growing companies meant that you kept getting lots of work from other tech companies as well in India. Foreign startups, foreign companies referred you work in India through your network, which kept work flowing consistently even during times of recession. Some of the startups that you work for have now become massive venture capital fueled companies, and they send you lots of domestic litigation and arbitration work as well, which helps your domestic litigation practice grow faster than that of your peers. This has brought you tremendous recognition, and you anticipate a lot more corporate litigation work from well-paying clients to come your way in the future. You have more reported cases in your name than your batchmates, even several seniors. While your peers complain about lack of clients, you are thinking of hiring juniors to manage all the client relationships and deliverables that you have. They envy you. Earning money, independence, or obtaining recognition is not the problem for you. As a result, you have a very comfortable personal life. The big challenge that you are focusing on is taking things to the next level. You have a bright future ahead, and you look forward eagerly to the next phase of your growth. Now, when you are thinking of this kind of future, some of you really loved it and it brought a smile on your face. Some of you really got scared. Some of you really felt offended, maybe that, oh my God, such dreams. I am afraid to even dream this much. Okay, that's natural. That's nothing abnormal. Okay, but think about it. Which one of the above pictures appeals to you the most? Because if you do not have a dream, then you cannot get up from your bed in the morning and give your best to the day.